Hari Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Jai Guru. Jai Guru. Shuddho Buddho Vimuktaha Shruti Shikhara Giram Mukhyatat Parya Bhumihi Yasmad Jatam Samastam Jagadidam Amrtat Vyapya Sarvam Stitoya Yasyam Sham Shavatarei Suranaravanajairakshidam Sarvametat Tam Bhumanam Mukundam Hridigatamamalam Krishnameva Prapadye Tam Bhumanam Mukundam Hridigatamamalam Krishnameva Prapadye Madhya Hridaya Kashe Sadanandamayo Guruhu Udetu Satatam Samyak Swatmananda Prabodhakaha. Harihi 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 Om Tat Sat. Jai Guru. Now we shall have 3 times the chorus recitation of the auspicious monosyllable Omkara. And by that recitation, we shall try to reach our voice throughout the earth and have the recitation shower its benedictions on all creatures. Mind you, you have the mind, not alone the body. That mind is very pervasive. It is more pervasive than sky. Sky is a material product. But mind is not matter, nor is it energy. It is something superior to matter and energy. Being so, its pervasiveness, its subtlety, it will be unimaginably great, immeasurable. So with your mind you can reach the entire surface of the earth. And that is what is meant to be done by chorus recitation. Interlock your fingers and put them on your lap. Sit comfortably erect. Close your eyes. Open the mouth and the heart and join me. Very good. Now we shall recite the Gita shloka as usual. Karpanya dosho bhata svabhavaha.
Karpanya dosho bhata svabhavaha.
Pritchami tvam.
Pritchami tvam.
Dharma sammudha cheta.
Dharma sammudha cheta.
Yachreyasya.
Yachreyasya.
Nishchitam bruhi tanme.
Nishchitam bruhi tanme.
Shishyasteham.
Shishyasteham.
Shadhimam.
Shadhimam.
Tvam prapannam.
Tvam prapannam.
Shishyasteham.
शिष्यस्तेऽहं
Shadhimam
शाधिमां
Tvam Prabannam.
त्वां प्रपन्नम्.
We are discussing perhaps the most profound statement made by Krishna in the 4th chapter, particularly in the 18th sloka. You will find the entire message of Bhagavad Gita is contained here. The same concepts, the same essence, the same crux, Krishna has distributedly presented in the whole of the dialogue containing 700 verses. Karmanya karmayah pashyet akarmani cha karmayah sabuddhiman manushyeshu sayukta krishna karma kride. This is the verse which we are trying to explain and make all our viewers understand with maximum clarity, profundity, expanse, loftiness and magnificence. Karmanya karmayah pashyet
कर्मण्यकर्मयः पश्येत्
akarmani cha karmayah
अकर्मणि च कर्मयः
sabuddhiman manushyeshu
सबुद्धिमान् मनुष्येषु
sayukta krishna karma kride.
संयुक्तकृत्स्नकर्मकृत्.
Many people do not understand that Bhagavad Gita is a dialogue. It is a dialogue that transpired in the din and bustle of the battlefield of Kurukshetra after the war cries were raised by both the armies. Can you imagine the tense atmosphere in Kurukshetra battlefield? Arjuna then decided to examine the army before deciding upon his strategy to go forward. He asked Krishna to drive his chariot, station it in a suitable point, so that he could examine both the armies very well. Krishna obeyed him implicitly. And in that obedience, Krishna ensured that Arjuna had an opportunity to examine his own mind, intelligence and ego. This is something that the great illustrious fighter had not done, even during the 13 years that passed before the war. 12 years he was in forests, doing austerity and what not. 1 year he was leading incognito life. He had ample time to examine his own mind, intelligence and what else not. But he did not do so. He believed in external austerity, acquiring Pashupatatra, a special weapon from Lord Shiva. He also got Gandiva and a quiver from which he could inexhaustibly take arrows. All these external acquisitions he believed in and also amassed. But poor Arjuna miserably failed in recognizing that with the external might and favors, he would not be able to do successfully anything whatsoever. All actions are not done really in the bodily level. The bodily level actions follow whatever dictates spring from the mind and whatever directions come from the intelligence. He totally disregarded the role of the mind and the intelligence. He thought that man was only a physical being, a physical mass. And the senses, as well as the body, have the inherent power to act, he thought, but they don't have. Our whole body is made up of matter from the food that you eat. It's all matter. There is energy also in our body. Sound is an energy, heat is an energy, light also is an energy. So our body and senses are completely matter. And being matter, they are inert, I-N-E-R-T, insentient. Being so, they don't have any kind of a power to generate an experience or a knowledge. Then how is it that they function and we get a lot of knowledge about the world? It is because of the non-bodily factor called the mind, M-I-N-D. Mind is not part of the body, it is associated with the body, that's all. That mind is a sentient functioning. It is the functional note of the supreme consciousness or sentience that animates and activates the body. So he miserably failed in front of the war. The whole body began to tremble, mouth went dry, mind started whirling, and the intelligence started saying, this is a wrong war, sinful war, don't fight. Gandhi was slipped from his hand, he was unable to hold it fast. Tell me what else was with Arjuna? Nothing. He started crying and weeping, saying that I am not going to fight, I will return, I will go begging for my food, like a mendicant. It is in such a situation that Krishna took up the challenge, took up the necessity, and he decided to fulfill Arjuna's need and make him fit. And what he used for the purpose is the dialogue. What does it mean? Speaking. All that Arjuna did was, he heard Krishna, absorbed whatever he said, assimilated the message. Suddenly it became his inner mental and intellectual enrichment, empowerment, elevation, expansion, energization. Whenever you are in trouble, the trouble is caused by the mind, and the solution lies with the intelligence. So Krishna, using the tool of intelligence, activated the intelligence of Arjuna and make him introspect over whatever plight he was suffering from. My dear souls, this is what you always have to do. Be thoughtful. Be introspective. By thoughtfulness and introspection, all problems of the world can be resolved. The real fight is within our body. It is in the plane of the mind. Fear is there, doubt is there, ignorance is there, delusion is there. Everything is generated by the mind. Arjuna suffered from grief, a product of the mind. He suffered from delusion, inability to know what he should do. Everything was a mental intellectual failure. And this is what Krishna sought to redress. And he comes up and discusses the subject. It has risen from the level of the mere grief. It has now become philosophical and spiritual questions about life on the one hand, the philosophy of action, how to meet all kinds of confrontation, how to surmount everything. So it became a permanent question, not only applicable to Arjuna and the battlefield of Kurukshetra and the battle, but applicable to all people of all walks of life and related to whatever problems their mind and intelligence are or will confront, are confronting or will confront. Now here is a verse which he says, Karmanya akarmaya pashyed, akarmani cha karmayaha. Right from the morning we wake up, open our eyes, our senses started functioning. Either the action senses work or the knowledge senses work, or both work. We have altogether 10 sensory organs. 5 are knowledge organs and 5 are action organs. All of them are remaining active throughout our wakeful hours, which start from the time we open our eyelids. In this kind of an action, which is manifest in the level of the body and senses, and which also occurs in the level of the mind and the intelligence, Krishna says, Karmani akarma yapashyed. These actions generated and pursued by the body, mind and intelligence are in a way only the skin level of action. Internally, at the center of your being, core of your being, there is no pulsation, action, vibration or movement. I always say, everything within the universe is moving, all planets and celestial bodies. But the universe as a whole will not move. Imagine a fan or any kind of a revolving wheel. It can wheel only over an axle, a pivot that cannot move at all. Our trains are moving over rails which don't move. The road traffic goes on because the road does not move. So every action is resting upon an action-free or a non-acting substratum. Karmanya karmaya pashyet, akarma nica karmaya. Now anybody who knows this truth properly, sa buddhiman manusyeshu, he is the most wise, intelligent and enlightened person amongst human beings as a whole. Sa yuktaha, he is the most integrated person spiritually. And Krishna karma gridi, you can say he has done all kinds of karma necessary for the world. I think, my dear souls, you will take quite some time to understand the majesty, magnificence and the beautiful spiritual import of this wonderful statement. I was quoting here and there, Yastvatmaridineva syat atmatruptascha manavaha atmanyeva cha santushtaha tasya karyam na vidyade. Imagine a man who has realized the self and he finds all the delight, all the fulfillment, all the exaltation from the realization of the self alone. So he becomes an atmatrupta, atmaredi. He rejoices in his self. He is contented by his self. Atmanyevacha santushtaha. And he is exulting in his own self. He closes his eyes, observes his own mind. He does not find anything disturbing there, as you people complain generally. Thoughts are disturbing, this, that and all. He finds only there is one presence which animates the body, and that presence is very pleasant, very pleasant, very pleasant, like the self in the sleeping man. For such a person, tasya karyam na vidyade. He doesn't want anything from the world. He has nothing to take or gain. He has nothing to give also. He is self-seated, self-fulfilled, self-delightful. He doesn't depend upon any factor whatsoever for anything whatever. That kind of an inner abundance, fulfillment, ecstasy, that constantly reigns within him, prevails. For such a person, where is the question of taking to an action? Tasya karyam na vidyade. He has nothing to do, either to take or to give, either to get or to offer. Nothing he has. Non-action in action and action in non-action, inaction. I am wondering, did you think about this proposition sufficiently well after I spoke about it? And is it clear to you? Apply it to Arjuna now. When you apply it to Arjuna, he was proposing that this war is terrible, it's extremely sinful. If we participate in this war, all of us will be damned in the hell for infinite length of time. He was telling Krishna, that means you, I and the horses, all of us will be eternally in hell. Are they in hell? Was Krishna in hell? Was Arjuna in hell? Certainly not. But he apprehended in that manner. Suppose he had left the war field, where will he go? He would not go to Indraprastha. He said, I will go a begging. I will be a mendicant. I will beg for my food. So he will be either in the forest or maybe begging for food for some time of the day. Totally in solitude, in solitude. That kind of a life, would it be harmonious? Would he be able to think whatever he wants to think at that time? Or the mind will be totally agitated? It will be still ruminating over the war he left, the great preparations he had made. The Gandiva, the purpose of Gandiva, his bow, the purpose of Pashupadastra he acquired. All that did not mean anything. So he will be totally reflecting upon He said, Shreyo bhoktum bhaiksham abhiha loge. Rather than killing these old elderly people, respectable people, it is better to leave everything, become a monk and beg for livelihood. You apply the whole principle of vibration, activity, movement, etc. to the whole universe. The universe itself does not move. Every time you should find our body is only a biological setup. Within the biological setup, besides the biological area, we have the thinking and feeling mind, the knowing and reasoning intelligence, the asserting ego. All these are not material or physical in character. So we have got a great personality. Our mind is reflecting the entire world, the entire sky, stars. So what should be the measure and magnitude of the mind inside the body? You see a visible world around. Much greater is the expanse that you can contain within the body in the sphere of the mind. There must be a substratum for everything. Only when that substratum still and immobile, substratum is there, all the mobility can be achieved on it. Spiritual attainment is not in the actional plane. Spiritual attainment is always within your body, in the sphere of the mind, intelligence and beyond. Mind itself is a spiritual affair. It is not a material product. Intelligence also, ego also. I would like to say, when I look at you, the living person, can you be with me? Will you be? When I look at a living person, when I look at his body, the body is not dead. It is enlivened, it is living. So when I look at his body, I am finding the livingness in him. Means what? I am comprehending the spirit in the body, not the body. If I am comprehending or cognizing only the body, it means there is no spirit, it's not enlivened, he has died. Thus you will find everything is spiritual, spiritual. That spiritual, that word you have to understand. It is different from matter, different from energy, above and transcending both. Our all actions, bodily actions, all these are, even mental and intellectual actions, they do not affect us within. See, you have 16 hours of intense activity, and the activity must have given you a variety of experiences. Also agitation, conflict, doubt, tension. In spite of it, at the end of the day you go to sleep. And in sleep you have no agitation, no worry, no anxiety, no desire, no hunger, no thirst. How is it that you slept? The same man who was wakeful for 16 hours, now he sleeps. The same person, he gets up and then said, I was active for 16 hours, a lot of agitation I had. Now I have slept for 8 hours, I feel very refreshed. The I in him remains the same. So all the wakeful activity, did it affect him? No. Because it did not affect him, he was able to sleep comfortably within himself. So you see the acting body, or he is the experiencing, he who experiences inaction or non-activity, the self. Think about it. Even in the case of renunciation, you should understand it is not physical renunciation. I renounce something. What? What is it that you are thinking of renouncing? Your hope? Okay, you renounce it and you go away. The home remains where it is. It has not been renounced at all. Renounce means what? totally give it away or throw away. Suppose you throw it away, where will it fall? Upon the same earth. So renunciation also you have to rethink and understand properly. That is also inner. It is a spiritual process. It is abandoning the ego, possessiveness and desire. These are the three factors that keep you bound to everything that you think of. So when he says, karmanya karmayah pashyet, it is a very, very refined insight and perception to be gained by the intelligence, by reflecting over the body on the one hand and then reflecting similarly over the I and the soul in you, which is beyond the body, beyond the mind, beyond the intelligence and beyond the ego. In the 3rd chapter, Krishna said what? Indriyani paranyahu, indriyebhyah param manaha, manasastu para buddhihi, yo buddhe paradastu saha. What did he say? Arjuna, look, your senses are superior to the world objects. Mind is superior to the senses. Intelligence is still superior. And superior to the intelligence is the I, the self. What do you think of it? Have you forgotten? We are discussing the 4th chapter now. Many people have a craze for doing something, even to do something for the society. What will you do? And what is good, better, best, super best and deluxe best? That is what he says. A man who has realized the self, who reposes in the self, excels in the self, is satisfied with the self, he has nothing to do in this world. And such people make the maximum contribution to the stability, well-being, cohesion, unity and harmony of the world. You may not accept it, understand it also. The same applies to people of devotion also. Here it is a discussion of spiritual wisdom, but devotion is our fondness and the feeling of linkage with God. What is this God? In one sense it is self. It is the ultimate and supreme reality. Ultimate and supreme reality. It is the self. When that self is realized, it is containing the whole creation world. Similarly, people who are devoted to God, what will they do? They start chanting the name of God, traveling with chanting. They feel completely ecstatic, exhilarated. So Sri Krishna describes in Srimad Bhagavatam a beautiful description he gives. Vāggadgada dravade yasya chittam rudatya bhikshnam hasadikvajicca vilajja udgayati nrityadecha mad bhakti yukto bhuvanam punadi. Here he said, Yastva atmaredireva syat atmatriptascha manavaha atmanyevacha santushtaha tasya karyam na vidyade, he said. A man who is delighting in his own self, resting in his own self, sporting in his own self, exulting in his self, for him there is no duty to perform. He is a blessing to the entire world. In devotion also he says, a devotee picks up the name of God. Initially it may not be so much effective. He starts chanting the name of God. Hare Rama Govinda Krishna Murare. He goes on chanting. And it creates so much of exhilaration for him. He becomes indifferent to everything else. So, describes Krishna, Vāggadgada dravade yasya chittam. His voice becomes choked. Dravade yasya chittam. The normal mind with the ego, it starts dissolving, melting. Vāggadgada drabade yasya chittam. In such moments, he has heard many things about God, incarnations, this, that and all. Sometimes he will feel so much of identity with whatever he thinks. Rudatya bhikshnam, he starts crying. Hasati kvachicha, sometimes violently laughing. Vilajja udgayadi, shedding all sense of shame, he sings aloud. Nrityadeja, also dances. Vāggadgada drabade yasya chittam rudatya bhikshnam hasadi kvachicha vilajja udgayati nrityadeja madbhakti yukto bhuvanam punadi. Can you go and tell him that? No. You be a product of the world and work in the world, be active. No, nothing doing. Mad bhakti yukto bhuvanam punadi. It is such a man who purifies by virtue of his devotional identity and purity, who consecrates the whole world. Bhuvanam punadi. He purifies the world, he says. Can you say he has any duty to perform? He should be like the ordinary people trying to fulfill the desires by acquiring one object or the other. About such a person, what is the right assessment? Here he said, Sa buddhiman manushyeshu sa yuktaha krishna karma kridu. A man who perceives in action, the presence of the non-acting soul in the intensely active body and senses, if he is able to perceive the supreme truth, he becomes an all-doer, he said. Similarly, naiva tasya kritena artho nagrite neha kaschana nachasya sarva bhuteshu kaschid arthavyapashraya. People generally act for winning their objectives, for realizing the desired objects. In the case of this man, because he is delighted, he is exulting, he is satisfied, he feels the fullness, ecstasy and abundance within himself. Naiva tasya kritena arthaha. By doing anything in particular, he has no object to acquire. Nagriteneha kaschana. By not doing also, he doesn't have anything to achieve. He has transcended the dvandva plane. Nachasya sarva bhuteshu kaschid arthavyapashraya. In anything whatsoever in this world, he has no sense of dependence at all. After all, this world is a pancha-bhaudik world. It is a material world, matter-energy world. Does it have any kind of a power or property to generate an experience or knowledge? Not at all, not at all, not at all. So what can we extract from this world? Can you extract joy from earth? Or from water? Or from air? Or from fire? Nor from space. What are you saying? Joy or delight is itself an emotion. As an emotion, it belongs to the mind. So, in order to have your delight of any kind whatsoever, should your mind favor you or the objects of the world favor you? Think about it, my dear souls. Don't mortgage your intelligence. Think. Nachasya sarva bhuteshu kaschid arthavyapashraya. See, in the 14th chapter, I want to discuss this subject well. Nanyam gunebhya kartaram yada drashtanupashyadi gunebhyascha param veti madbhavam sodhi gacchadi. Are you with me? Nanyam gunebhya kartaram yada drashtanupashyadi. The one who is seeing the truth. Gunebhya anyam kartaram yada na anupashyati. all the activities, either in the level of the Panchabhutas or in the level of the Panchabhautik personality that we have. What did I say? Activities taking place in earth, water, air, fire or sky, major. Or in your own body, which is a constitution of, it is constituted by the Panchabhutas. So either in the major dimension or in the smaller dimension, all activities are performed by the three gunas of Prakriti, not you, yours. Prakriti consists of sattva, rajas and tamas. These gunas are constantly acting and activating in the whole world, either in the micro level or in the macro level. So all activities you consider and know that it is motivated by Prakriti's gunas. Gunebhyascha param veti. Also understand the I which is transcending the gunas. If both are equally viewed by you, madbhavam sodhi gacchadi. Such a man becomes like me, says Krishna. You become like Krishna, all-knowing, and therefore all-doing also. Yasya sarve samarambhaha kama sankalpa varjidaha jnanagni dagdha karmanam tamahu panditam buddha. Who is the enlightened man in this world? Krishna speaks about it in several places in Bhagavad Gita. One reference I thought of bringing before you is Yasya sarve samarambhaha kama sankalpa varjitaha. You all think that we can only desire and live in this world. My dear souls, desire is a constriction. It is a contamination. It is calamitous. You leave all desires. Tune yourself to the rhythm of the world. Everything will take place properly. Constrictions, drop them and work with a state of harmony. After all, who are you? You are an individual, a product of nature. The nature is spread out everywhere. Everywhere the three gunas are acting and activating. The same three gunas are acting and activating in you also. So leave it to the rhythm of nature, the course of nature, the magic of nature. And then feel your identity with that which is beyond. Yasya sarve samarambhaha kama sankalpa varjidaha. Whose all undertakings are free from kama sankalpa varjidaha, from desire, passion and various kinds of imagination and expectation. Jnanagni dagdha karmanam. All his actions are completely burned by the fire of spiritual wisdom. Tamahuhu panditam buddhaha. He who has this kind of a perception, evaluation and identity, inner identity, he is considered to be an enlightened man, Pandidam Buddha. Why I am saying this? Sa yuktaha, sa buddhiman manushyeshu, sa yuktaha Krishna karma girdi, he says. In this sloka we are discussing. Karmanya karmaya pashyet. He is the really intelligent, wise man among all human beings. Sayuktaha, he is spiritually integrated. Krishna karma girdi. And he is really the all-doer, all-performer. So this perception makes you an all-round performer. Sankhya yogau prithak balaha pravadanti na pandidaha egamapyastidas samyak ubhayor vindate phalam. Here also he has brought Pandita, the enlightened person, and links it up with the context available there. Sankhya yogau prithak balaha pravadanti na pandidaha. There is that spiritual wisdom, the wisdom path, the wisdom pursuit. And you also have karma yoga, yoga buddhi being instilled into the karmas and karta. Both of them are not different at all. Anybody who sees difference, he is not an enlightened man. Sankhya yogavu prithak balaha. Only children speak about the difference between Sankhya and yoga. Na pandidaha. Pandidaha, enlightened people will not say. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane gavihastini shunichaiva shvapakecha pandidaha samadarshinaha. This is from the 5th chapter. Here are a set of people, set of living beings presented before you. Vidya vinaya sampanne brahmane. There is a celebrated brahmana who has enough spiritual wisdom, who has enough of humility also. He doesn't lack in any quality at all. Such a Brahmin on the one hand, then a dog on the other, and an outcast on the other. You will have to see all of them alike. All of them equal expressions of the same self, the same God. In the dog also is the same soul. In the enlightened man also the same soul. In the most downtrodden also the same jiva is present. Is there any difference? Nowadays I can say blood can be transfused from one person to another. Maybe an idiot is there. If he has got matching blood, his blood can be taken and given to an enlightened man, a very wise man. So all of them are alike. Tyaktva karma phala sangam nityatrupto nirashrayah karmanya abhipravrittopi naiva kinchit karoti saha. We have come back to the 4th chapter. Recite this sloka. Tyaktva karma phala sangam.
Tyakva karma phala sangam.
Tyaktva karma phala sangam.
Tyaktva karma phala sangam.
Nityatripto nirashrayah.
Nityatripto nirashrayah.
Karmanyabhipravrittopi.
Karmanyabhipravrittopi.
Naiva kinchit karoti saha.
Naiva kinchit karoti saha.
See, I always say, there is a way of living in this world without being bound by it. There is a way of acting in this world by virtue of which you will never be affected adversely by anything that you do. The whole key is within your body, in the sphere of the mind, in the plane of the mind and the intelligence. It is in the form of an attitude so far as mind is concerned, a knowledge or understanding so far as intelligence is concerned. Tyaktva karma phala sangam nityatripto nirashrayah. Oh, how to make you understand the beauty of these verses and understand the sweetness of the message. Tyaktva karma phala sangam. Leaving what? Karma phala asangam. The so-called clinging that you have to the pleasant or unpleasant fruits, results which the karma has produced. When you do a work, will it not produce result? Otherwise, is it a karma? And that result will generally be what you are expecting, for which you have done. Very rarely it is otherwise. But you are so bothered about that fruit. And perform the karma properly with stability, full identification. You don't have to think about the result at all. Any karma is a means to achieve an end. So it is the thought of the end that makes you do a particular kind of action in a certain way. So the completion of action will instantly result. in the outcome desired also. Not knowing this, you start getting agitated by whether my action will fruition or not, whether I will have an adverse result or not, and the thought of the adversity of the result completely takes away your peace. It is not necessary at all. So he says, abandon the sangha you have towards the results of action. Nitya tripto nirashreha. The moment you abandon the sangha, the delusional clinging, nitya tripto nirashreha. Please read these and understand. Your mind will beget contentment provided it is able to leave sangha, delusional clinging. You become incessantly contented. Nirashreha. You will have no sense of dependence on anything whatsoever. Your mind will become free. Such a person with such a frame of mind, karmanya abhipravritto bhi. Even if you ceaselessly perform activities one after the other, naiva kinchit karodi saha. You cannot be considered to have done anything whatsoever because you have no delusional clinging, no possessiveness, no desire, no ego. With ego, with possessiveness and with desire, it is a hell. So why don't you leave all the three and become like space? Have a spatial mind, delightful mind, exulting mind, exhilarated mind. So the entire orientation and enrichment is not in the physical level to the body and the senses. It is a kind of what? Graceful embellishment to your emotional mind and rational intelligence. Can such an action be done? See, in the 5th chapter, Krishna says, Naiva kinchit karomidi yukto manyeda tattvavid pashyan shrinvan sprishan jigran ashnan gachan swapan shwasan pralapan visrajan grinhan unmishan nimishan nabi indriyani indriyartheshu vartanda ididharayan. I wish every one of you is near me. See, this is knowledge. This is inner enrichment, inner empowerment, inner resourcefulness. It has nothing to do with the world of objects. The whole discussion is applicable to the mind and intelligence, and the benefits that accrue are going to be only to the invisible mind and intelligence. The knower, how will he live in this world? Naiva kinchit karomi ti. I do not do anything whatsoever at all. Yukto manyeta tattvavid. The man who knows the supreme truth, he will become so integrated in his personality that he will never feel I am doing anything whatsoever. Is he feeling it, not doing anything, sitting in a place and closing the eyes? No. He is immensely active, intensely active, ceaselessly active. His activity is described here. Krishna describes Pashyan, Shrinvan, Sprishan, Jigran, Ashnan, Gachan, Swaban, Shwasan. 8 words I have used. He is seeing, he is hearing, he is touching, he is smelling, he is eating, he is moving, he is sleeping, he is breathing. It covers the entire range of your life. So, being involved in all kinds of sensory, mental and intellectual activities, being intensely involved in all these activities, Pralapan, Visrajan, Grinhan, talking, evacuating, receiving, closing and opening the eyes. What further is there? All activities are covered by these statements. What does he think? Indriyani indriyartheshu vartanda ididharayan. Arey, what is taking place? The senses which are fixed on the body are being contacted by the sense objects. If I had no eyes, I would not see. So I see because of the eyes. Is seeing my action or my eyes, EYES apostrophe action? Seeing is always by the eyes. Hearing is by the ears. Smelling is by the nose. So who smells? Do you smell? No. My nose is smelling. Eyes are seeing. Ears are hearing. Legs are walking. Hands are holding. Skin is touching. Tongue is tasting. So what is this whole activity? Indriyani indriyartheshu vartante. The senses which are fixed on the body are alighting on the objects around. In the whole process, I don't get up. I don't get involved. I am inside the body, inside the mind, inside the intelligence, inside the ego, so much so that none of these actions, peripheral actions, affects me at all. Vartanda ididharayan. So you tell me, karmanya karmayah pashyet, akarmanija karmayah. The meaning and message of that verse and the meaning of message of these verses which I am quoting, are they not the same? In this particular verse, is he not referring to seeing in action in all activities? So it is a culture. It is an enrichment. It is a refinement in your perception, in your analysis, in your observation, in your evaluation. I do like this. This is done by my eyes. If I have no eyes, I will not hold anything. If I have no legs, I will not walk. If I have no ears, I will not hear. The physical actions, why do you consider them to be inner actions? So in the inmost level, no action, no movement of any kind takes place. And no effect also falls there. These 3-4 verses in the 4th chapter, what shall I say? They are so valuable. They ennoble you, elevate you, enlighten you. They make you expanded in your mind. They raise you from the mortal plane that you are in and anoints you with immortality. Nirashiryata chittatma tyakta sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kurvan napnodi kilbisham. Just imagine what is Bhagavad Gita. Though it was occasioned by the Kurukshetra war and in the Kurukshetra battlefield, in order to console and empower Arjuna, Krishna took about 2 to 2.5 hours to talk to him. Though the dialogue emerged there and then, it is an eternal dialogue, applicable eternally, ceaselessly to the entire humanity upon the earth or any other planet. Nirashihi yatachittatma tyakta sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kurvan na apnodi kilbisham. Even if you don't understand, chant these verses. Write them in your houses, in the kitchen, in the drawing room, everywhere you write and read it. Today or tomorrow your mind will start contemplating upon them. Nirashiryata chittatma
Nirashiryata chittatma
tyakta sarva parigraha.
Tyakta sarva parigraha.
I find so much of sweetness in these words, phrases. Nirashiryata chittatma
Nirashiryata chittatma
tyakta sarva parigraha.
Tyakta sarva parigraha.
Tyakta sarva parigraha.
Tyakta sarva parigraha.
Shariram kevalam karma
Shariram kevalam karma
kurvannapnoti kilbisham.
Kurvannapnoti kilbisham.
Kurvannapnoti kilbisham.
Kurvannapnoti kilbisham.
My dear viewers, have sufficient sense of identity with what we discuss. Picture the scene, the Kurukshetra battlefield. Arjuna totally tired, body trembling, mouth drying. Gandiva slipped. Unable to stand, he has sat at the back of the chariot. Krishna is turning uncomfortably and talking to him. Have this scene before you. Every word of what Krishna said was instilling what? Stability, poise, pleasantness, joy, hope, confidence, clarity, resolve. All these are qualities of the mind. Every word and his was instilling all these. You should understand how it was acting on Arjuna. Nirashihi yatachittatma tyakta sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kurvannapnoti kilbisham. My dear Arjuna, you are so much worried about sin. Sin will never touch you at all. Actually, the mind, by virtue of improper thinking, is courting sinfulness. When the intelligence is illumined and the intelligence gives direction to the mind, you will find the whole fear vanishes. The whole stain totally disappears. Nirashi. Leave all desires. Yatachittatma. Let the mind be under your fair control and regulation. Tyakta sarva parigraha. You know the words used by Krishna, the phrases he uses, and the ideas he tries to convey, all of them have become comprehensive and eternal. It is no more a war dialogue. It becomes an ever-relevant dialogue between any ignorant man and the enlightened person on the other hand. In other words, it is a beautiful dialogue between the enlightened intelligence and the deluded mind within the same person. Tyakta sarva parigraha. You don't want to possess anything, have anything. Our mind gets to its delight when it is free, when it has no craving at all. As the mind has craving now, it can also be above craving. One is a state of ignorance, delusion and constriction. Another is a state of wisdom, clarity and expansion. Can you not allow your mind to expand? Can you not leave your mind to gain purity, to gain elegance, to gain expanse? Maybe if you are selfish when you are a child, but when you grow, the selfishness should not grow. The selfishness should decline. and unselfishness or selflessness should take its place. Bodily you are limited, but mentally you are not limited at all. You are broader, wider than the sea. Incorporate those higher dimensions. Nirashir yatachittatma tyakta sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kurvan. We say we are acting, but where? In which plane? Only in the bodily plane. When the body acts, not necessarily the mind also acts. When the body, mind, intelligence, etc. act, the soul still transcending them does not, cannot act. Cannot act, does not act. This is the truth you have to comprehend, remember and abide in. Shariram kevalam karma. All the activity that you have is only in the bodily level. Kurvan napnoti kilbisham. When you realize in this manner, when the mind is free of desires, when you have the inner personality sufficiently under your regulation, your refinement, all the sense of possession vanishes from your mind. I always ask people, do things belong to you? Or you yourself belong to something or someone? See, you have lungs. They need oxygen. Can you provide it? Has your father given oxygen to you? We are remaining upon the earth because of Earth's gravity. And we are breathing because nature has provided sufficient air around the earth. That is why we breathe. So the lungs depend upon air. The heart is beating. How is the heart beating? For every beat of the heart, there should be a signal generated and sent by the brain. Have you made the brain? Have you made the heart? Is there anything in your personality which you, your father or mother created? Can confidently say, I have shaped this? The fetus started shaping itself into a body all by itself. It took only blood cells from the mother. So, are things belonging to you, or do you yourself belong to nature? Shariram kevalam karma kurvan na apnodi kilbisham. So this is an inner culture and refinement which you have to practice and perfect. Why are you here as a human? Is it not to think? Is it not to be thoughtful? Is it not to be rational, inquiring and understanding matters clearly? How long will you remain ignorant? This is a knowledge about your own personality. You have a personality. It has the gross body. That is only the external part. Internally the body is apparently hosting a mind, intelligence and ego. None of them is material or physical. It is not matter or energy. Should you not know about the mind, about the intelligence, about the ego? Because they are the cause for every activity that you perform. So, shariram kevalam karma kurvan na apnodi kilbisham. Even if you employ your body and you remain active, all that activity will not cause any kind of a bondage or a sin for you. You go on chanting this verse, Nirashir yata chittatma, Nirashir yata chittatma, Nirashir yata chittatma. Let the concept sink into your understanding. You have heard only worldly talk. secular talk, thought of possessiveness, thought of dominance, thought of ignorance, delusion. Where is the opportunity for you to know something different, superior, greater, graceful? Where are such words in your vocabulary? Why don't you learn these things? Introduce them into your vocabulary. Let them gain sufficient place. I always say, if you spend a few hours of your mind hours, on cultivating any quality whatsoever, the quality will become yours. You should think about that quality. Evaluate it. Want to have it. In terms of minutes, time, hour, mind hours. Spend time, mind hours on a particular quality. You will find it will grow in you and will refuse to get away from there. I think we are too ignorant. We are too deluded. We are not conscious that we have an inner personality and we have to develop it, enrich it, empower it, beautify it, ornament it, and be a grace to the entire society and world. Having been born in a family, we have grown, I don't know in what manner, in a checkered manner, without proper guidance, either from the house or from the schools and colleges, and somehow also ran. That's all we are doing. Why don't you take the book and see? Nirashiryata chittatma tyakta sarva parigraha shariram kevalam karma kurvanna apnodi kilbisham. The next verse, beautiful. The first quarter is sufficient for us as a formula for life. Anywhere, anytime, for anybody. Yadricha labha santushto
Yadricha-labha santushto
Dvandvatito vimatsaraha
Dvandvatito vimatsaraha
Samasiddhava-siddhau cha
Samasiddhava-siddhau cha
Krutva binanibadhyate.
Kritva pinanibadhyate.
I would like you to chant this verse at least 100 times. Yadricha-labha santushto
Yadricha-labha santushto
Dvandvatito vimatsaraha
Dvandvatito vimatsaraha
Samasiddhava-siddhau cha
Samasiddhava-siddhau cha
Krutva binanibadhyate.
Kritva pinanibadhyate.
See, there are many verses in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna makes no reference to God or no reference to the self. He refers to some qualities, some enrichments, some refinements to be brought about in your mind, in your intelligence, therefore in your character, in your behavior and interaction. That is why I say interactional sadhana. This is a sadhana which you have to apply in your interaction life every day, at home, in the professional front and in the societal front. Yadricha labha santushtaha. Santushtaha means contented. By what? By whatever gain is brought by providence or chance. So a chance-driven life, a providence-led life, Why don't you vote for it? Opt for it. Yadricha labha santushtaha. Teach our mind to remain contented by whatever providence brings or chance brings. And chance will bring best. The presence of Krishna by the side of Arjuna as a charioteer with a resolve not to fight directly in the battle, don't you think it was a great chance? It all took place in chance. Both Arjuna and Duryodhana went to Dwaraka to get support, participation for their war. Krishna was equally related to both. So he said, I am dividing my resources. The entire Narayani powerful Sena I place on one side, and on the other side I stand. But I will not fight, I will not wield a weapon. Now two of you, each choose one. Either you want the Sena or you want myself. Krishna was not happy. Duryodhana came first to Dwaraka. Krishna was sleeping or he pretended to be asleep. I don't know. You will have to ask him. He will have to come. When he found Duryodhana coming early and Arjuna has not arrived, he became a little doubtful. So closed his eyes. What will Duryodhana do? Krishna is asleep. He should wake up. Till then, where will he sit? He went to the head side and sat on a sofa. Even if Krishna opened his eyes, he cannot see him. So he was at the back. After some time, Arjuna pantingly came. When he found Krishna was sleeping, he sat near his feet. Oh, Krishna breathed a sense of relief. Very good, Baba. If Arjuna also goes up and sits by his side, it would have been a confusion. So he ensured that Arjuna had taken his seat, then he opened his eyes. When he opened his eyes, he saw Arjuna. Saw Duryodhana. Now both of them have come on the basis of the same relationship, asking Krishna for favor. Krishna divided the resources and said, now each of you choose whatever you want. The question is, who will choose first? Duryodhana said, I have come first, therefore I should choose. Krishna was not prepared to leave even the least chance. Though you came first, I saw Arjuna first. So the first choice should be given to Arjuna. Not only that, he is younger to you. Duryodhana somehow agreed. But he had a doubt. Will this fool make mistake? Arjuna said, I don't want the Sena, I want you. No matter whether you will fight, you will have weapon or not. Duryodhana had a sigh of relief for the first time. He did not clap his hands, but he would have. Just see, remaining as a charioteer, not wielding any weapon, instead holding the reins of the horses. Krishna got the best opportunity to enlighten, empower, elevate and fulfill Arjuna's mind, heart and intelligence. This is called chance. What do you mean by chance? Chance is the higher order, higher and beautiful order, where no attractions and repulsions have any sway at all. All other courses are contaminated by passion and prejudice, ragadvesha. This is ragadvesha rehita. My dear souls, opt for a chance-driven life. Providence-led life. Yadircha lapha santushtaha. Let this phrase be a cardinal note in your life. Yadircha lapha santushtaha. Learn to delight over whatever providence gives to you, good, bad or indifferent. If providence gives you, providence will also see that you are elevated by whatever is given. If you earn it, you have the risk. Your vision can never be perfect. Let us stop. See, this retreat for the children for about 7 days, a Saptadina Shibiram. It has been a very memorable instance. After the Sabhaniketan was inaugurated last year on December 23rd, the main program Srimad Bhagavata Tattva Samiksha Satram, the 21st yearly event, that went off well. We were wondering, now that we have a building and a hall, it is available throughout the year. Some good programs for enlightening the people about the culture and the cultural greatness of the country, particularly the literary memorial of our land. You know, there are two kinds of memorials that you can make. One is using substances from the earth, but they will perish. Maybe after 500 years, 600 years, or maybe after 1,000 years. They cannot remain. On the other hand, anything in the way of literature, if you have made, and particularly when the literature is of an eternal kind, ever-relevant nature, that is what all our literature is. It will never go extinct. The literature can be reproduced, unlike buildings. It can be reproduced. We don't have a picture of sage Valmiki who wrote Ramayana. We have never seen the leafy scripture he wrote. We don't know the place where he lived. The hefty steel pen with which he cut across the fibers of the palm leaves. Nothing we have. But his Ramayana we have in ample measure, fully, without a change of syllable. This is the greatness and distinction of a literary memorial. Our literature is great. One Srimad Bhagavatam, the book we have now, was written maybe in the 6th century, 1400 years back. The content and the message was right from the beginning, from the Vedic period. See, it has reached the nooks and corners of India. Shuka Maharshi narrated it to Parikshit, King Parikshit, taking 6.5 days, virtually 7 days. Even now it is read. In 7 days, it takes 35 hours to read Srimad Bhagavatam. And then narrating the story, explanation, etc. The same 7-day period people want. They are very specific about it. As Parikshit heard, we must also hear. As Parikshit had benefit, we must also have benefit. And it is being read and heard in the same Sanskrit in which they wrote, without a change of syllable. Can you imagine a civilization spreading like this? A culture that gets rooted in the hearts and minds of people like this? How big is India? How huge is our population? We have exceeded China. In such a land, the Srimad Bhagavatam written 1400 years back, or still much earlier, it has spread and cast its roots in the minds and hearts of people, young as well as old. It is in the name of Srimad Bhagavatam that Sabhaniketan in Naimisharanyam has been built. The main event so far is the yearly 10-day Jnana Mahotsava on Srimad Bhagavatam. Mahamela. So we were thinking once in a month we will have a satsang program, and the first shorter event that we have held is the children's program. Some people have sent feedback. One mother writes, she writes that, I have no words to express my gratitude for having sent my child for the retreat and what he or she has got from me. They have found new friends. They were very happy. They did not miss their home, miss their parents. Everything what was good, kind, sweet, delicious. Food was good, play was good. We allowed the children to play for 1 full hour. We were asked for a feedback. 2 or 3 girls, they came and spoke in Sanskrit without any trouble whatsoever. Expressed all their emotions which they had. Apart from mere spiritual or religious talk, cultural talk, some fire brigade officer was brought and he was teaching them how to handle accidents, falling into the pit and well, etc. The knotted chair, that was also shown to them. See, there is something great. We can mold our children in any manner we want. Are you ready? Do you want it? Are you prepared to spend some time, sacrifice your own life for it? I think it has been a very good program. On the basis of what this 7-day Shibiram was to the children, I told these people there, now you have to think and plan as to what can be better and more done in Sabhaniketan. We don't want to hold any religious events there, nor any social events. The event should be to institute, instill, strengthen, deepen the cultural civilization of our land, in which our literature counts maximum. Can you imagine a book like Srimad Bhagavatam remaining active and alive after 1400 years of writing? What do you think? How many generations have passed? You go anywhere in India, there are people who know Srimad Bhagavatam, who can read, who can also explain. Our Sanskrit should be revived. It is not difficult at all. My personal idea for Sanskrit revival is, we must have an area of land. I don't know, I cannot say, I often say, at least some 2,500 or 1,500 acres of land in a safe place where electricity and water are there. There are already thousands of people speaking Sanskrit in India. We must collect all of them, encourage them to come and stay there. Every planning should be done. Sufficient computers should be available. And we should conduct in Sanskrit some dramas and other things, drawing materials from our own literature, our own country's immortal literature, inviting all the people from the whole world. It should be an ultra-modern place. But one condition, all the people there should be speaking and interacting in Sanskrit. When it has been established well, we will form a territory. We don't want to become a state. At least we can have a small status. And then we will declare that Sanskrit is our official language. Now people call it a dead language. These children were talking in Sanskrit after 7 days. Beautiful Sanskrit. They had no hesitation in speaking. When a language is being spoken, the hearers will automatically learn. No grammar is to be learned. The grammar will be in the speech itself. Make people speak. 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 And hear their speech. In about a month you will start speaking. I think we owe it to our great motherland that her beautiful Sanskrit is restored and revived, and at least there should be one state in India newly formed, just like Pondicherry. We will say we are a small state, But we are a centrally administered state and we want to have official language. Easily it can be done. I myself mentioned it, some people were responding, but my body has become old. I may not be able to go about it. Then it not be necessary also. It's enough that somebody picks it up and implements it. We should not leave. India is not the old India. Our purchasing power is great. Many countries want to sell things to India. We want us to purchase. I think in a few years we will become perhaps number one economic power. India has progressed tremendously, tremendously. What about the digital revolution that we have been able to bring about? How well we have handled the corona pandemic. How beautifully we have handled it. We have exported medicine also, our own medicine. I think every one of you should think of India in a new light. And what has happened in Naimisharanyam, in the Sabhaniketan, points to some tremendous possibilities before us. I only wish people grasp it well and harness it well. Okay, I shall stop. Samvedyavarjitamanuttamamegamadyam Samvidpadam vigalanam kalayan mahatman Hridyeva tishtha kalanarahita kriyam tu Kurvan agartrapadamethya samodita shri Kurvan agartrapadamethya samodita shri. We shall have the concluding Omkara. All of you take your pose for it. Hari Om Tats. Jai Guru, Jai Guru, Jai Guru.